All right, boys. So here we are with Hero Arena, and as usual, we're gonna show you guys the best teams to use on Hero Arena. Obviously, if you have better teams, make sure you guys comment it down below, because again, it could help out somebody who is struggling in terms of building proper teams. Now, if you don't know, most of the characters right now, the KONOSUBA characters right now have the buffs. So if you have any of these characters, it's going to be really, really helpful because you get additional stats for your team. And luckily, characters like Darkness and Aqua are on different race teams, as you can use Aqua on a goddess team and Darkness on a human team, which is going to be pretty much perfect in terms of building different types of teams. So we are on Challenger difficulty. These are the teams. So we're going to be rocking these teams and hopefully getting through this pretty easy. I might make some adjustments to these teams I'm probably using, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and let's see how well this works out. All right, so let's see what we got here, as we are going to be using the KONOSUBA characters. Obviously, this is going to be the Rio Tower. Again, this tower is going to be really nice for this Darkness human team, because again, you're pretty much just having so much healing and damage reduction that it's going to make it very hard for the enemy to get rid of you, especially once you have Darkness stance up. Again, this team really relies on Darkness keeping that stance up just so your other characters doesn't die. But if you were able to chip away the other enemies, kind of get rid of characters multiple times, then you'll have an easier time with this team, even if you don't pull a stance card with Darkness. Now, again, the whole focus of this team is to provide you a lot of healing, while Shadow is pretty much doing all the dirty work by killing all the enemy. Again, Shadow is going to be really nice because again, he also provides that debuffs, which could chip away at shields. And also, once you get those max stacks, you get his own boosted passive where now his damage is going to go crazy and you get a crazy HP boost. So Shadow is a really nice character. You probably could swap Shadow for a character like maybe Brunhild. Maybe Brunhild could be a really hard-hitting character, or even Sun Jin-woo. Again, that'll be something you'll have to test really, because again, this whole team was kind of prevalent on keeping Shadow alive, just so he can just spam his infect AoE, which again hits really hard since it's an HP based AoE. So the more HP or stats he has right now is going to allow him to hit really hard. Again, that's what I said with trying to figure out a DPS character. You might end up having to even use multiple DPSs depending on whatever team you want to rock. Again, that will kind of affect your team a little bit, because again, you're losing out on damage reduction and healing. But again, try whatever is best for you. Like if you don't have Easton, maybe instead of Easton, maybe you could try using Light Percival. Maybe Light Percival might be really good to use instead of Easton, just so you have another reliable semi healer. Again, just enough to where you don't take too much damage. Again, that's why I said with this one, you can see Sun Jin-woo has infect, so he's gonna make it very hard for you to heal up, but luckily he was able to tank it a bit. So now we have Nonsense who can heal up, and then we can probably just go for our stance and then possibly even stun or even attack his team. And the good thing again is that with Shadow, he can deal high amounts of damage, which could kill enemies, or again, like I said before, you can just always stall. The only reason why I say you probably don't want to stall against this nonsense team is because again, he'll just pretty much cleanse the stun. Maybe you just got to get really lucky that Sun Jin-woo doesn't spam infect a lot, and then you should be pretty good, which he uses most of his cards up anyway, so it's a possibility that he may not even get his infect card again because he spams his cards first turn. So it's not like he's just keeping it in the tuck. But yeah, again, there's a lot of options you can use with Darkness chat. Like you can use Darkness with Mizuno if you really want to, if you want an extra protection. Like you don't have to use the same team you're seeing right here. Just use Darkness, and trust me, she is going to make for a really powerful go second human team. Like there's just so many options when it comes to humans. So don't think that, oh, if I don't have Shadow, my team is gonna suck. Dude, just build your own combo of human characters, because there's a lot of characters that can support. All right, like I already mentioned before, you have Light Percival, who could possibly do the same thing as in supporting your team from dying. Again, I'm using Nonsense, who's helping me a little bit. And then you can probably use Mazzino as well. E-Season is just really good because obviously you get those extra heal, damage reduction, and if you kill an enemy, obviously you get to take away the gauge as well, which what was happening right here. We took away his gauge, and I guess you got to worry about his single target. Obviously that single target would have probably killed Easton. It was maxed out. So if I would have killed Thario right there, I should have just went for my stun with Nonsense on his Marilli. So you gotta be very careful with that, because Marilli single target can kill your Easton. But luckily I did get a good hand in which I could just stall and just push for my ultimates and just kill. I ain't gonna lie, this team is actually pretty solid. Like, this team is really good. I didn't really have too much trouble with this team, especially because, again, most of the teams you guys see in this video is me running it the first time. So sometimes with me running it the first time, maybe I'm probably using terrible gear. Like, you can see I'm taking a lot of damage. So I probably should have had put like crit defense gear on my Easton and also Nonsense. So I probably should have put crit defense just so I could tank more of that burn heal damage. But again, it's already GG anyways, because again, Shadow is just going to blast his entire team. So yeah, if you guys see like my team in terms of the gear that I showcase in the video falling off, it's most likely because, again, this is my first run, so I didn't really go for the max amount of gear that I needed for my team. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I be lazy sometimes. Like sometimes I don't be feeling like swapping over the defense gear for the crit defense. Now this team is the Aqua team. Again, this is the Goddess team. So Aqua, again, provides another set of healing and also revive capabilities. Again, the only character who won't get the revive will be the Marilli, and that's because you are the same attribute character. But since we do have a taunt first turn, and this guy's running Lancelot, obviously Lancelot will kill Marilli, forcing her own passive revive and giving us a Sword of Judgment, which will allow us to deal high amounts of damage. So that's why Marilli was really nice for this one. Lancelot will go for that combo of single target, and then AoE to try to kill, which sometimes really does kill, because he hits really hard on that team. So this is where we're just going to try to go for our freeze. Again, Sun Wu is, let's say, the best character on that team. So if he can't do damage, we are going to be in the clear. But again, it all depends on if he hits any cards. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're going to freeze and then single target spam on Sun Wu. And obviously, if you really wanted to, I could have just AoE'd and then broke that Nafumi shield. Not shield stance, and then single target Sun Wu. Again, you just want to make sure Sun Wu doesn't keep that damage cap buff, so you can finally kill. And you should be pretty much okay. Like I said before, we have Aqua who can heal and also give you a revive buff for your team, except for Marilli. And this one is going to be the demons. Again, depending on whatever the Demon King you're facing in terms of Deuce level, this could be pretty tricky, because again, Demon King is where if you break up multiple of his shields while he's like 6'6", you can take a lot of reflect damage from his team. So sometimes you gotta be very careful. Obviously, there's also the fact that you give him stacks, so sometimes you could end up losing your team. But since we do have our shields still up, his effects was kind of useless. And we was able to tank that. And that's because, again, we do get a lot of damage reduction towards demons as well because of our Holy Relic. And we just pretty much just blast through his entire team. It's a good thing we had Aqua with her healing and our Marilli's passive to heal us as well. Like this team was like really solid. Obviously in this video I'm just, oh my god, you see how much damage I took? Yeah, I should have put crit defense gear on Mael and probably Tristan. See, that's the thing. When you see me taking so much damage in these videos for Hero Arena, it's usually against Brunhilde, okay? Brunhilde, probably the most used character in Hero Arena, just because she just one-shots everything. So you sometimes gotta be very careful in applying crit defense gear with crit defense rolls on your characters, just so you can minimize the amount of damage that Brunhilde will deal to your characters. Which again, unfortunately, I didn't really put crit defense gear on my Tristan nor on my Mael, so they both took a lot of damage against that Brunhilde team. So again, keep that in mind, chat. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. This team that I use is just my first run of the team. As I'm going to be doing the other weeks and stuff like that, I'm gonna probably either change my team up or fix some of my gears just so it can run a little bit more smoother. So we're gonna get rid of you, and then now we're finally able to get rid of you, and then AoE should kill both of them because they ran out of damage reduction. And that was another tower cleared. And the final one will be, I believe this is the one that was in the middle. This is one where you face Demon King team very early on. Yeah, I think this is the one in the middle, or I guess you can call it the Camilla team. And we're using demons. I feel like demons probably be really good just because you'd be super tanky. And we're just gonna AoE. Now I was kind of debating if I want to use Chandler or Gelda, but I just swapped. I just used Chandler just to see how it works. Honestly, you don't really need Chandler. That's why I say it's either you use Chandler or you don't. Maybe it could be pretty beneficial in terms of damage, but I won't know for sure unless I would have tested out in terms of my damage. Because again, with Kusag, you should deal high amounts of damage. So we double single targeted Meliodas, and Meliodas just killed Demon King instantly. Now the only thing you have left is Demiurge and Esterosa, and as you can see, they are doing a lot of damage to Chandler. That's why I said with my team, I gotta be very careful of using Chandler because he possibly could die. Again, this was my first run of this team, so I really wanted to see how well it will function. Because again, the demon team, once you have blue Meliodas kind of passive activated, it's so easy to win the match after that. Like blue Meliodas just hard carries this team. And yep, there goes Chandler. Now you might think that, okay, now the run is over. It's not, okay? Like I said before, with blue Osomo Meliodas, you can just carry through the entire thing, especially because all the other teams are pretty fragile. They're just high DPS teams, which can get easily beaten by Meliodas, because again, if they're not dealing high amounts of damage, then you can't really do anything. And Meliodas is gonna just hard carry the team, which is beautiful. I guess the only first thing I gotta worry about is probably maybe Kusek dying. And Kusek can take a lot of damage. And this is Sun Jin Woo with Sha team. So this is gonna be very fun. And looks like he's about to kill, but he did not go for anything but a Yuri card, which is actually beautiful. So now we can just target you. Ooh, that barely killed. Maybe if I had Chandler still alive, that would have killed. Actually, it most definitely would have. But it's all good. Like I said before, none of his characters or none of these teams have a DPS team. They're usually just a fragile team to begin with. So that's why you see with Sha, she's basically not doing anything. So now we can just kill Sha, and that's gonna be GG. And we're gonna be going into the last part of this tower with 3 characters, by the way. 3 characters. And blue Osomo Meliodas is just hard carrying it through it all. Again, the only thing I would probably say is that because I'm not using a fourth character that can support my team, I kind of would misjudge some damage. Because again, you don't really, you think you can kill, but you forget sometimes that you don't have that fourth character. So we're gonna get rid of you. Hopefully this kills Mael. Oh, it was super close. It was really, really close. Yeah, this team's just so good, man. When you Blue Meliodas is just so broken, bro. So we're gonna just get through you, and that's gonna be pretty much be it of the Hero Arena. Again, with the new KONOSUBA characters, they actually make Hero Arena super easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause they are like the Hero Arena characters or not the Hero Arena, KONOSUBA characters are just so good at going second. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe again for more fun content. Just remember, you guys, I'm out. Peace.